Good morning, gentlemen. Today I would try and talk on an important topic of imagination because this is what is required when you are attempting your TAT or you are making sentence in WAT or you are answering questions to the interviewing officer or when you are planning to work on the task of the GTO. What is What is most important is I must think ahead. I must imagine what is required and what can be done. So today we'll try and talk on a very important topic that is I call it a mental imaginary and actual performance as related to SSB. Okay. So now all our viewers like you who are subscribing to my channel are appearing or are hopeful of appearing SSB. Besides SSB, you must also be appearing in many competitive examination, or you may have been participating in sports or cultural activities. You will appreciate when you appear in such examination or when you participate in such activities, your mind always wanders. And you start thinking about it, visualizing what will be the possible outcome. But the problem comes up. Have you ever asked yourself, what do you imagine? Or what did you imagine at that time? Do you picture yourself in control, confident, and at your best? Or you've got simmering doubt about yourself? Does your imagination toy with the idea that you may not succeed? Well, if this is the idea which comes to your mind, you can never succeed in any case. The answer matters because it could affect your confidence and ultimately how well you go on to perform. Yet, we take these moments to spend in imagination as seriously as we should. We never have taken these thought process very, very seriously. We must understand our imagination isn't just a bystander. Bystander means someone looking at it. It is the tool that directly influences our chance of success. Our imagination shapes how we interpret the world around us. It can be remarkable, vivid, capable of triggering the same physiological and emotional response as you would have faced in the real time when you are preparing an examination or you are playing sports or you participate in cultural activities. What is happening inside mind can be more powerful than what is happening outside. Because unless you decide what is your what is going to result, you can really succeed. There's a phenomenon called functional equivalence. That's a psychological word. This refers to the way the brain doesn't always distinguish between imagining an action and physically doing it. As far as brain is concerned, your imagination and physically doing it one and the same thing. That's why it is called functional equivalence. Imagine an athlete. When they vividly imagine running a race or sinking or throwing a ball in the basket in basketball, brain scan reveals that the same neural circuits are activated as if they were physically performing the task. MRI taken during such activity imagination, that is mental rehearsal, it's a picturing answer. It engages the same brain region of our brain which involved in controlling the body and also activates areas linked to the focus, motivation, emotional regulation. And mind you, if these things are the same, so when we rehearse when we imagine what we are doing it, naturally it will improve our efficiency. Our imagination is important rehearsal space that will help us achieve our goal, but we rarely utilize it. Most often than not, candidates come to me, sir, I can't think about new idea. I always say your story is real. No, it should be clear, realistic, and original. And you get a picture which is say, someone is lying on the bed of a dead body, and you think, sir, I'm get stuck. I don't know what is to be done, what is to be written. Either you and you alone has to think about it. What story are you going to write? Or if interviewing person asks you some question which is not in your rehearsed area, you get stuck. You don't know what to answer. You get stuck, answer blocked. So the principle of functional equivalence extends not only in sports, it's a connection between mental imagery and real world performance. As I said, it is important rehearsal space that will help us achieve our goal, and yet it's frequently utilized. Good news is that we can train our imagination to work for us rather than against us. So it is up to decide, how do I utilize this power or not? That a certain steps are given. They're one of the few. What you call understand the lure of negative imagery. Means what? No, our humans, we have survived for thousands of years. How did we survive? We evolved to anticipate threats and dangers, giving rise to a set of neural-based instincts we call it survival optimization system, or SOS, which we normally call. This system helped our ancestors survive real threats in their environment. Today, that same system kicks in whenever we are you are facing some problem, or when you are nervous, when you're in a meeting, you are appearing in examination. Your brain rushes to create vivid scenario of failure or danger with the aim of preparing you for action. It's why you are more likely to imagine stumbling over your words than delivering them with ease. You always anticipate something wrong is going to happen. Just because your brain is so quick to latch onto the negative imaginary. If can latch on the negative imagery, it can certainly also latch onto the positive aspect as well. So the key is learn how to switch the channel from anxiety-driven negative narrative to the images of the success, confidence, and control. We must understand the basics. Okay. What is that basics? Imagining requires significant mental effort. Until unless we force our mind to think or imagine, it will not happen. And remaining physically calm when you are facing those thoughts, or when you are focusing on those thoughts or scenario that you are imagining. Start by vividly imagining a specific moment. What do you see, hear, smell, or feel in this moment? It should be part of our daily routine. We should do that both ahead of time and right before the challenge comes in. So it means not it only the examination time. We must think about it. We must imagine what I'm going to do before examination, before starting the examination, naturally in the examination itself. In that itself. Next comes use all your senses. When you're using all your imagination to picture yourself performing successfully, start by vividly imagining a specific moment. Create a rich context. Let's say you are to give TAT, thematic appraisal test, as that what you call psychological test, and you are sitting in the examination hall. Many candidates are there, so you have to start thinking. You have to tell yourself, okay, I'm sitting in examination hall. Many candidates are there. One picture is presented for 30 seconds. and I start writing story around the picture in 4 minutes. Bring out my OLQs. You visualize writing excellent story and qualities that emerges. Your need and defense mechanism are shown in that exam, in that no story that you imagine. You experience a sort of satisfaction as you hit the right chord. When engaging all your senses in this mental rehearsal, you are reinforcing the neural pathways linked to the success. And when you physically appear in examination, you are certainly going to do better. The essence in your brain is practicing success, preparing you to excel when the moment arrives. Okay. Might also find helpful to script out your imaginary in advance. When something blocks you, what feeling did you have that time? When you're imagining you are sitting in examination, writing stories, or appearing in an interview, what is troubling you? So once you know what is troubling you, you will find ways and means to get out of that as well. Imagine the and then perform. When using imagery to help master specific physical skills such as writing story in TAT, take your time to fully immerse yourself step by step in what it will feel like as you perform skillfully. You cannot afford to skip the steps are writing. Suppose even if you write a story, so what you do, you have to think what is the plot. It should have beginning, it should have action, and it should have end. And through action, I have to bring out my 15 qualities. So no, it's a imagine is a multi-sensory detail that has to be available to you. Now imagine a person, a tennis player who is going to serve a ball. What does he do? Before he serves the ball or hits the ball with his racket, player will often take a moment to mentally plan the serve. What he does, he imagines exactly where he wants to let the ball go. How would be his motion of the body? Is he going to lift hand fully, halfway, in between, or angle it? What would be the arms? Where his arms will fold. And then he will physically bounce the ball and execute the serve. Just as physical practice sharpens muscle memory, mental practice strengthens the neural connection tied to that skill, enhancing both precision and performance. Rehearsal challenges social situation. Instead of trying to suppress it, naturally you've got many negative thoughts keeps coming because so many people are appearing. Vacancies are less. So there will be some disastrous thought. You may not get the right ideas. You may not get the right answer when you are answering certain question. Well, it's absurd, yes. Mental rehearsal is a tool for navigating difficult social interaction or hypothesis ways to overcome challenging moments. So you start by imagining yourself speaking clearly. Suppose you are giving interview and you are some questions interviewing officer is asking you. So you start thinking. Imagine that you are speaking clearly, maintaining eye contact, responding to unexpected question with calm and authority. But it's vital to go deeper. Ask yourself what might those tough questions be. So you have to prepare for it. How will you address those tough questions? Mentally working through these scenarios can reduce the anxiety which you are likely to face in actual interview or actual performance. Next, use humor to disrupt negative imagery. Many times, I may not get the answer. I must learn to laugh at myself. Humor can be surprisingly effective antidote. Why? If I can, well, oh, it hadn't come. Next time, let me try again. Rather than giving up, we must take it as a joke and let it go. Don't try and suppress it. Because any mental image which comes to you, you will find difficult to suppress it. Think, okay, it's absurd thought will come. Laugh it out. Use positive experience to turbocharge your future imagery. It's not necessary that you are appearing in the examination for the first time. You must have appeared in examination many times. You must have faced interview, maybe from your teacher, your employer, anyone. You must have done well somewhere, sometime. So wherever you've done well, that's the success. I must utilize that success, analyze what was so right at that particular time. After a successful event or task, take time to reflect on what worked. Replay those positive experiences in your mind, noting the sensitive details and emotions. By getting into the habit of doing this regularly, you create a series of positive anchors, a mental library of success that you can draw upon in future moments of doubt. This positive reinforcement builds over time, making it easier to call up positive imagery when you need it most. I'll give a very trivial, a very small example. When I was appearing for my interview for class 7th, 6th class for admission to Senate school, I was from a village. I do not know. The question which was put by the principal was, have you ever eaten meat? I said, sometime. Why did I say sometime? Because my family was totally Western. We never had even प्याज लहसुन हमारे घर में नहीं चलता था. So why do I say that? Because it was a fact that when I used to go to my Mamu's house, and there they used to eat no non-vegetarian. And when I used to go at one odd time, they did give it to me. I never cherished it, but yes, that was on my plate. So I was not lying. The question after that was, do your parents know about it? I said, I do not know. I have never told them about it. And they all started laughing. So that was the stable moment. I was honest, I was to the point, and I was spontaneous. That a small instance which has occurred in 1964 still helps me to take on questions today. So when a small moment of happiness or performance is there, check back. What has made you perform so better? What are those qualities? What were the sentiments? How do you behave that time? That will help you in the future. Okay. Then put a physical practice. Mental rehearsal must be coupled with actual preparation. That imagination is not substitute for physical performance. Imaginary is a complement to physical practice, not a replacement for it. When imagining success, you're not cutting corners. You're strengthening your ability to perform when it counts in a way that feels familiar. Incorporating multi-sensory imagery into a toolkit allows you to shift from mindset of fear and doubt to one of the empowerment and control. Final notes, reimagining how we use our imagination is about taking control of what thoughts we want to give attention to and rejecting those we don't. You have the ability to choose the mental channel you engage with, whether it's filled with doubt or filled with confidence and opportunity. Just you might switch from a mundane TV channel from one channel to another. Similarly, we have to shift. We have to say consciously selecting the thoughts, imaginary, and emotions you want to cultivate. You can reshape your mindset and influence how your body reacts to those challenges. Albert Einstein once said, imagination is more important than knowledge. Knowledge is limited. Imagination encircles the world. The key is to decide which story in your imagination you want to tune into and ensure it's on that leads you towards your best performance. I hope I have been a person to that you can afford to imagine every situation. And you must rehearse it, think it about it, prepare for it. That will help you in real performance. I always say, even if you have to think about any story or any, you walk alone on the road, think about any picture and keep telling a story yourself. You don't have to go about it. You must write it down. Think what are the qualities coming back or not. These small things will certainly help you. In course of time, now I would be, I don't know, trying to do a small write-up like this, which will help you in performing your SSB. Thank you.